Since you guys really liked my other two videos on how to get easy mounts, we will go over another batch of 25 mounts you can probably get in less than a few hours. Beginning with the honorable mention, if you can call it that, is the Jigglesworth Sr mount. Now this mount will probably return in a few years from now, since it was originally in the Shadowlands Season 4 mount, but since there's no confirmation on that, I will just put it up here as a warning that this mount will become unobtainable once the Season 4 of Dragonflight ends. To get this mount, you will need 3 antique bronze booleans, which you can get by killing any raid boss in the Awakened raids. You can see which one is awakened by either looking into your Adventure Guide tab and clicking on the raids button, or you can just open the LFR window and you will see this greenish icon next to the wings that are awakened for this week. It doesn't matter what difficulty it is, so you can just queue up looking for raid and kill a few bosses and you should get the 3 booleans you need for the mount in less than 30 minutes. These are not a 100% drop chance though, but they are still relatively high, so you shouldn't need a whole raid to clear to get all 3. Especially if you haven't cleared the raids every week, since it has a catch-up mechanic where you can loot more than 1 at a time. Once you have all 3, go to this vendor right here in Valdrakken and buy the mount. Next up is the Magmashell mount. This is another mount you can get very easily. In order to get this mount, you will need an item called Empty Magmashell. You can farm this item either by killing these lava slugs in this area right here, or just buying it off the auction house. What you need to do next, once you have the item, is go to this location in northern part of the Waking Shores, right here at this lava pool. You will need to click on the empowered slug inside the lava in order to get the mount. You will be able to see if the slug is spawned or not by hovering over the lava. If it is not up, you will have to wait around 25 to 30 minutes for it to respawn. Now, before I continue, I would recommend you to swap into your healing spec, if you have one, and put up all your heals and defensives before you jump into the lava, since it will deal continuous stacking lava damage. Otherwise, you can either get a friend to stand on the edge and heal you while you're inside there, or get the Everlasting Horn of Lava Swimming from the Siege of Dragonbane Keep event, which is also in the Waking Shores down here. Once you're close enough to the slug, click it and a 20-second cast timer will start. If you survive these 20 seconds without dying, you will just learn the Magmashell mount, so no looting required while burning to a crisp. Vash'jir Seahorse is another really easy mount you will probably be able to get in like 30 minutes, since it only requires a small quest chain in Vash'jir. But in order to begin the quest, you will have to find these quest boards in either Orgrimmar or Stormwind and start praying. What do I mean by that? Well, you can specify which zone quests you want to start, so you will just have to accept one after the other until you find the introduction quest for Vash'jir. So if you're unlucky, you will have a fun time right here. But once you get the quest, all you have to do now is follow it, and in around 30 minutes you will have the seahorse in your collection. If you've enjoyed this video so far, consider liking and subscribing to my channel. We're really close to getting to 1000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot if you could reach it by the end of this month. If you ever change your mind or don't want to consume my content anymore, there's no shame in taking that sub away. And if you want to support me even more, you can also become a member of this channel. These next 2 mounts you can probably get in less than 5 minutes honestly, since it just needs you to kill the same raid boss twice. I'm talking about the Black and Twilight Drake, which, to be fair, are probably the most well-known easy to get mounts, but hey, still +2 on your collection step, am I right? All you have to do for these 2 is go to Northrend, to Dragonblight right here, below the Wyrmrest Temple. Then just fly straight through the portal and kill Sartharion. Don't kill anything else, especially not these blue drakes surrounding him. Just go up to him, slap him, and you get the mount. Now run out and repeat that on either 10-man or 25-man difficulty, depending on what you did first, and you will be rewarded with these 2 with a 100% drop chance. But there's a catch. You will need 2 different characters if you want to get both at the same time, since you can enter the raid only once a week, no matter the raid size. With the Dreamsurge event, there also came 2 additional mounts tied to this event. This event rotates weekly to one of the 4 base zones of Dragonflight and will be active for the whole week, so you don't have any time pressure in farming these. Just check your map for this Dreamsurge icon and fly over there. The first one is the Duskwing Ohuna. You can buy it at the Dreamsurge vendor for 1000 Dreamsurge coalescence, and you get these by doing literally anything on the zone, and I mean that. You can do world quests, kill rares, just kill random mobs, fly around the zone and pick up these green glowing orbs, pick up special Dreamsurge flowers, literally anything. But there's still 2 main sources of coalescence income, which is the minor and major events spread across the zone. For the minor events, you will just have to look out for these fire portals and once you find one, just click it and kill everything that comes out of it. At the end, it will spawn a rare, which grants you a bigger amount of coalescence and helps you get to the 1k faster. The major event though occurs every half an hour in the zone and will be marked by this big fire portal on your map. Up until the last mob, it's pretty easy to solo, but you should have no problem with that since there's always someone doing the event for the resources. All you have to do here is do random objectives and tasks. Once the bar is filled, a big elite will spawn, which will grant you around 40 coalescence. You will have probably already noticed that rares and events also sometimes drop these charred elemental remains. In order to get the other mount, the renewed Magmashell specifically, you will have to farm 20 of them and combine them in order to get it. And that's basically it. So you're farming both of them at the same time if you think about it. Getting both mounts will probably take you around 2 to 3 hours depending on how many rare spawns and portals you can find. Now this short little segment is designated to the newer players that perhaps just started playing in late Dragonflight or even later, if you're watching this video at a later point in time obviously. You can get 6 very easy customizable dragon mounts by just completing the whole campaign of Dragonflight. By completing the campaign I mean just the main quests, which are marked like this on the map and not the basic exclamation marks you know from older versions of WoW. This will take you a while though, since it will require you to quest through all the zones that Dragonflight has to offer, but if you want customizable dragons, here you go. You can also unlock another 10 mounts and 10 additional races by flying over to the embassy in either Orgrimmar or Stormwind and start these quest chains. The reputation requirements for these have been removed by now, but you still need to be level 40 to see and start these quests. At the end of the quest chains, you unlock 10 different allied races, 5 for Horde and 5 for Alliance, but additionally you unlock their specific race mounts. So 10 more in your collection, and some of them are also very cool as well. For this next mount we will take our way back to Ardenweald, to this location right here. The mount I'm talking about is the Spine Maw Gladeshoer, a 100% drop chance mount from the rare Gorm Tamer Tizo. In order to get this rare to spawn though, you will have to kill all these bristle cone mobs spread around this small area in the western part of Ardenweald. Now this process is basically RNG. It might take you 2 mobs, 30 minutes, hell even 6 hours to get the rare to spawn. But let's be real, if you need 6 hours for a mob to spawn, you're probably the unluckiest human being alive. But you get the mount. If you constantly kill these, it honestly shouldn't take you that long. And once it spawns, you will see an announcement in the chat of him saying that he's the finest Gorm Rider in the forest. All you have to do now is find him in the area. He will also be marked on your minimap and kill him. That's it. Next up, the last mount of today is the Riddler's Mindworm, which is probably one of the coolest mounts to get. And I'm not talking about the visual of the mount, but rather the way of obtaining it, since it's a little scavenger hunt of pages. So what you have to do to get this mount is pick up a few pieces of paper spread across the whole world. But the most important part is that it has to be in a specific order. If you want to do this as quickly as possible, I recommend you playing a mage, since you can get around the world very fast with your portals and teleports. If you don't have a mage though, you can just create a trial character and do it with that one. Now, most importantly, if you fuck up at some point or don't finish it within one weekly reset, you will have to do everything all over again. If you somehow lost track or forgot what you have to do next, there's a script to check what step you're on, which I will link down in the description below. You will find the first letter inside the inn in Legion Dalaran. Page is inside this bookcase in the middle shelf on the lower floor. It says page 9, but don't worry about it, the numbers of the pages are completely unrelated to the actual order. Next up, in Duskwood at this spot right here, in front of this little well, you will find the page laying on a small bench. Now this third one you can technically combine with another 2 mounts to farm, since you will have to go to the very end of the Firelands raid in Hyjal. I'm talking about the Pure Blood Firehawk, which you can get from Ragnaros himself, and the Flame Talon of Alisrazor, dropped by Alisrazor, both with a very low drop rate of around 1%. You will have to kill every boss in order to get access to the last 2 bosses, and therefore to the end. To get one of the bosses to spawn, you need to kill these groups of Flamewakers. Running around the raid, they are very easy to see honestly, since they are the only ones running around in groups. Once you're in Ragnaros' room, take a left to the very edge and you will find the third page right here laying on the floor next to the fire. Now, next up, you can find the 4th letter at the southern beach area of Uldum right here, hidden between a few palm trees. The 5th one is once again hidden inside a raid, specifically the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, which is in the Valley of Eternal Blossoms in Pandaria. You will have to make your way to the Shah of Pride boss room. So luckily not the whole raid. Go to this corner right here and tucked away at the edge of that little alcove at the back in the left, you can find the page. Next, you go to the Well of Eternity dungeon, which you can find in the Caverns of Time. It's in the final ground area, right here laying on the stairs close to the well. Kinda hard to find since the dungeon is pretty confusing, but if you keep following Illidan, you should be fine. Then you go to the Kunlai summit, to the Shadowpan monastery area, and right in front of this tiger statue you will find the 7th letter. For the very last page you will have to go back to Uldum to this spot, and right in front of this statue's feet you will find it. Don't forget that you will have to take these in order, so you can't take the Uldum ones back to back, otherwise you will have to do it again next week or on a different character. You're not quite done yet. You have all the 8 pages, but in order to get the mount now, you will have to take one last stop in Westfall, at this location right here. If you've done everything correctly and picked up the letters in the correct order, you will see a purple glowing item inside this boat on the shore. Click on the item and you will be gifted with the Riddler's Mindworm. But obviously these are not all the easy mounts to get. There are hundreds more, so if you want to see another batch of mounts you can get in less than an hour, click on this video right here. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, let me know by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. If I missed any other mounts you think is very easy to get, let me know down in the comments or in my Discord. Have a great day and I will see you next time.